Okay, you guys, so super exciting stuff. I have successfully paid off 2 items of debt that I had accrued, which I'm super excited about. I paid off a balance that I had on my PayPal business account, and I also paid off a balance that I had on Afterpay. Now, the way that these are set up, there are 80 credit cards on the tracker as a total. You put the creditor your balance and then the equivalent of what each item is worth based on 80. So if I take that amount divided by 80, I got $3.18, which I chose to round up as $4, which means if I color in all 80 trackers, each tracker is worth $4. Now for this one, I decided to make the value less. So instead of taking that balance divided by 80 and do all of them, I just did it by 35, which is the number on the front here, and each one is worth $11. So I'm going to color these in 2 different colors because these are completely paid, and I had written them on the tracker, but I ended up paying them as lump sum amounts. So let's do Afterpay in green, and let's do PayPal in orange. So a couple fun, not necessarily fun facts, but a couple of facts about Afterpay. I don't know if you guys know this, but if you get behind in Afterpay for any reason, they will continue to lower your credit allowance. If your credit allowance gets to 0, you are not eligible to have another account with Afterpay, and they will not reconsider. So because I owed them a large amount, and I owed it for a long enough period of time where my credit number got to 0, and I reached back out to them after I had paid it off to see how to increase my limit, they let me know that they do not currently allow you to open a new account, and they will not actually be reconsidering my current account. So keep that in mind if you're an Afterpay user. If you ever get your balance to 0 or your credit limit to 0, that's it. I don't know why this is so enjoyable and relaxing. Yay! So I feel accomplished. One debt down. And even though I paid it already, you guys, it still is a sense of accomplishment. Just coloring these in and knowing that this is paid, it feels so good to know that I have one less thing to be worrying about. So put that there. And now we're going to do the PayPal. I'm actually going to recalculate this, you guys, because I don't want to color in all 80 of them. So if I know this is 35, let's do it by divided by 10. And I'm just going to color in 10. So each one is worth... It's worth $26. Okay. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And now this is also done. And it feels wonderful. So I'll set those in the back. Okay, you guys, the last thing that I wanted to do is super quick come on here because I had I promised that I was going to share my testimony in regards to my car, and I do plan to share that. It's just going to have to be in the next video because I'm exhausted. But I do want to go ahead and clear this tracker. So anyone wondering how to get permanent marker off of a laminated tracker, you just take a little bit of rubbing alcohol, which is what I'm doing. And you can wipe it clean. If you guys can hear the rain, forgive me. All right, so we're going to be starting over with this tracker. You know what? I'm just going to do it in this video because let's just go ahead and get her done. Okay, you guys. So the car that I had was amazing. I had a Jeep Cherokee Latitude. It was a Jeep Cherokee Latitude, and I really, really loved it. However, when I purchased the car, I was not aware of how high the interest rate was. I got the car in the middle of winter after getting into an accident, and I really needed a vehicle because at the time I was working rather far from my home, and so I needed a car for the commute. And I was able to get into a vehicle. However, that loan interest rate was higher than that of the average credit card. So by the time I left the dealership with my $20,000 car, I was going to pay upwards of $44,000 for this car, which means my monthly payment for this car was over $620 a month. I won't tell you the exact amount, but it was over $620. And that was just insane for me. It was really difficult to keep up with, not to mention the insurance was really high because I had just gotten into an accident. So on top of the $550 insurance, I had a $620 something car note. And so I was paying roughly $1,100 a month to have a vehicle. That was insane. So at the end of last year, I was praying and fasting, and I asked God, I said, God, I need this car paid off. I trust you to do it. I don't know how you're going to do it, but before the year is out, I need this car paid off. If you've ever listened to Tiffany Montgomery or done a fast with her ministry called Covered by God, you will know what I'm talking about because she is big on big prayers. And so I prayed that. I meant it. I believed it. I had faith in it. And before the end of the first week of 2024, my car was totaled. Now, this was not an accident that was intentional by any means. I had just bought brand new tires in November, and one of my brand new tires blew on the highway, pushing me into the side rail where all the metal is. And because of the amount of damage to the side of my vehicle, they decided to tow it instead of doing the repairs. So that is how my car got totaled. So this new car fund binder is just proof that God answers prayers. Now, the interesting thing and the thing to keep in mind, you guys, is when you pray for something and you ask the Lord for something, you do not have control over how he makes that prayer come to pass. Nor did I care how God was going to make it come to pass. I could not afford that car. It was drowning me. It was a lot. I was working to pay my bills and not living and paying my bills as I live. I literally was working and taking on more clients for the sole purpose of paying this car. And God answered my prayer and blessed me with a clean slate. The insurance covered the bulk of it. I have a slight balance left. Because if you have gap, even if you have gap, if for any reason you ever move a payment to the end of your loan, if your car gets totaled, gap doesn't cover that. So I have to pay the payments that I move to the end of my loan. I still am responsible to pay those. And so that is almost done. And once it is, I can really get into starting saving in this binder. So that is what I'm preparing for. And that is my car testimony. So praise God for answering prayers. And that is it, you guys. I'm going to go to bed because I've been doing this video for way too long. I'm going to edit it down drastically so you guys will not have to see all of my hiccups. You'll see most of them, but not all of them. Thank you so much for watching. Please make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and share this video. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me. But until next time, bye.